This is If I Were President with your host Lynn Scheid, bringing you straight talk, big ideas, and a blueprint for national renewal. From Washington to war zones, from boardrooms to the front lines of global conflict, Lynn Scheid has seen the world as few others have. As a journalist and news producer, he worked on some of the most respected television programs of the last century, including 60 Minutes, ABC 2020, BBC Panorama, Washington Week with Gwen Ifill, Politically Incorrect, Larry King Live, and CBS Evening News. He has reported from 191 countries, covering world-changing events and interviewing presidents, prime ministers, rebel leaders, generals, kings, and queens. Lynn has also worked with the United Nations, USAID, the State Department, and countless global development agencies, using media as a tool for conflict resolution and social change in some of the most fragile nations on Earth. Beyond journalism, he is a global entrepreneur who has built businesses in over 75 countries, navigating different economic systems from free market democracies to authoritarian regimes. He has firsthand experience with socialized healthcare, corruption, failed economies, and government overreach, giving him a perspective that few political commentators can match. He considers himself a JFK Democrat, believes the U.S. Constitution is an inspired document, and while not religious, he deeply respects the beliefs of others. And now, through this podcast, he's bringing those decades of experience to a conversation America desperately needs. This is If I Were President. Today's episode, why this podcast matters. In this opening episode, Lynn explains what this show is and what it isn't. He lays out why our political system is failing, what real leadership looks like, and what he would do differently if common sense ran this country. And now, here's your host, Lynn Scheid.
At some point, every American has watched the news, shaken their head, and thought, if I were president, I would do things differently. That thought isn't about arrogance. It's about frustration. It's about watching the same corrupt, broken system fail all over and over again and knowing deep down that we deserve better. But let me be absolutely clear. I am not running for president. I do not want the job. This podcast is not a campaign. It is not a stunt. It is not about party politics or empty outrage. What it is a challenge. A challenge to the political elite who have abandoned the American people. A challenge to the media who push division instead of truth. A challenge to all of us to start thinking differently, to break out of the partisan trap, and to demand better from those in power. Because Washington isn't fixing anything. The media isn't telling the truth. And the people in charge have no interest in solving the problems they profit from. But here's the thing. I still believe in this country. I still believe in the American dream, not as some vague idea, but as something real, something worth fighting for. I believe in common sense government, the kind that actually solves problems instead of creating them. And I believe in patriotism without tribalism, where we put our country before our political labels. So no, I am not running for president, but I refuse to stay silent, because this country is worth saving, and we are running out of time to do it.
Let's begin where it all starts. Part 1, America at a Crossroads. In this section, Lynn breaks down where we are, how we got here, and why our country's greatest threat isn't foreign. It's the failure of leadership at home.
America used to be the country that built the future. We built industries, we won wars. We put a man on the moon. We created the most powerful middle class in human history. And today, we can't fix our roads. We can't secure our borders. We can't even have a national conversation without tearing each other apart. Why? Because the political class has stopped working for us. Both parties have abandoned real governance. They don't solve problems, they manage decline. And we're supposed to just accept that? We are at a crossroads. Either we demand better, or we continue to watch this country slide into dysfunction. If I were president, here's where I'd start. Number 1. Term limits for Congress. Public service is not a retirement plan. Serve your time, then go home. Number 2. Ban stock trading for politicians. No one in public office should profit from their position. Number 3. Secure the border and fix immigration. A nation without borders is not a nation. Number 4. Bring jobs back to America. We must stop outsourcing our strength. Number 5. End political theater. Washington should be a place of action, not grandstanding. These aren't radical ideas, they're common sense. But they haven't happened because the people in power benefit from dysfunction. If we want change, we have to break the cycle.
You've heard the problem. You've heard the plan. Now, let's talk about the mission behind this podcast. Part 3, why this podcast matters. Lynn explains what the show stands for, who it's for, and how we move from frustration to action together.
This podcast is not a campaign, it's a conversation. A conversation that Washington refuses to have. I am not here to play political games. I am here to talk about solutions. Because if we wait for politicians to fix this country, it will never happen. It's time for the people to take the lead.
And now, before we close, a final word from Lynn.
Go to lynnschheid.com and sign up for my newsletter. Join the movement, stay informed, and be part of the conversation that America desperately needs. This is Lynn Scheid. Thank you for spending some time with me. And next time you catch yourself saying, I could do that better, just remember, if I were president is exactly that. Thanks for tuning in.
That's it for today, but we're just getting started. Next time on If I Were President, we're taking a deep dive into history. The Democratic Party, the good, the bad, and the ugly. For generations, the Democratic Party was the party of the working class, national unity, and bold leadership. It gave America Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal, John F. Kennedy's vision for a new frontier, and the civil rights movement. But somewhere along the way, things changed. Today, the party has drifted from its roots, pushing ideological purity over practical solutions, government expansion over economic opportunity, and division over unity. So what happened? How did a party that once stood for strength, prosperity, and the American dream lose its way? And more importantly, can it be saved? Join us next time as Lynn breaks it all down, separating fact from fiction, history from spin, and truth from political marketing. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep asking the tough questions. We'll see you next time on If I Were President.